Nope.
Light,
Here?
Parker,
Here.
Sykes,
Here.
DeRose.
Here. This is to advise that certain advance notice has been given to the date, time, location, and to the extent known the agenda of this meeting in accordance with the provision of the Open Public Meeting Act on the city's website and communicated through the newspaper designated by this governing body. All right, ordinance 2025 for introduction is actually being removed from the agenda tonight, so we are going to revisit that at the next meeting. So, consent agenda. 91, authorizing the introduction of the 2025 municipal budget. 92, authorizing the continuance of utilizing Network Connectivity, Inc. for IT services for the municipal complex. 93, appointing a part-time recycling zoning assistant, namely Stan Colby Sr. 94, appointing an interim deputy clerk, namely Kayla Lovato. Please note, all matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately. Where did our clerk go?
She probably went to get copies.
Well,
She didn't have a copy.
hang tight for the roll call. She went to get another copy of something.
Copies for herself and.
Well,
You can see roll call.
okay. Do I hear a motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items only?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Would anybody from the public like to speak on the agenda items only? Do I hear a motion to close the meeting to the public?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? May I hear a motion to move the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Laratunda, Light,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
DeRose.
Yes. Approval of the bill list, $263,028.73. May I hear a motion to accept the bill list?
Motion. Second.
Roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
DeRose.
Yes. All right, committee reports. We will start on this end this week with Mike.
So we're going to meet on the 22nd of this month. We have not met since last month, on 3/18. Just to go over a couple of things that we were talking about, we did speak to the gentleman in charge of the flags. We're still in the process. He said July. Maybe we can get some of the newer ones a little bit sooner than that, as I did ride by, and they are a little bit ripped up at the edges and stuff like that and faded. He said they usually get about 2 years, but again, depending on what we have and what he has in the budget replacing those, we're going to look into that. And other than that, we haven't met, so we're going to discuss more on the 22nd.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Parker.
Public safety has not met since our last meeting. We did on Facebook, the police department put the monthly calls for service on their Facebook today. Thank you for sharing that. Our next meeting is April 7th at 6 p.m., which is this coming Monday. And Chief, do you have anything to add?
Sure. Daylight savings is upon us, so remember to adjust your lighting at night. Unfortunately, we have people running around checking car doors. Try not to be a victim of this. Lock your valuables. Don't leave valuable things in your car. See something, say something. I've been saying this for 4 or 5 years now. If you see something going on in the neighborhood, please reach out to us, whether it's a solicitor or just something that just doesn't seem right. We would much rather come out and say hello to you and solve the problem before it becomes a problem, if that makes sense. The other thing is you're seeing our officers in town. We're stopping a lot of cars. And we get a little bit of pushback with the speeding. We're taking a zero tolerance approach with this, but oftentimes you can avoid speeding if you give yourself a little bit more time to get from point A to point B. So please just keep that in mind, because as the warm weather comes, you have more and more people out and about. And that's all I have. I'm going to address a few things that keep coming in as complaints to City Hall. I apologize ahead of time for all the gas work, but infrastructure has to move on. They're making upgrades that are going to benefit your homes and the value of your homes. In some of the areas on state highways, I just want to remind you that we don't have any say, and neither does the gas company. The state makes them do the work at night. So they're trying to get this work done as fast as they can and stop and try not to disrupt your lives. The same thing is they're supposed to reach out and let you know this work is happening. So again, that's not our we don't want you to be your lives to be uprooted or disrupted, but it's just the cost of upgrades to our utilities. So if you have any further complaints, please don't reach out. Don't hesitate to call us. We'll make sure that I come out and take care of any of those complaints.
Thank you, sir. Good, Councilwoman Evans?
Tonight we met for community affairs. We had a good meeting. Our most recent event will be Earth Day, which is April 19th. Please bring out your shredding, any of your electronics. It'll be here in City Hall in the parking lot. And the next thing after that would be the senior brunch. So we are all set with that. That'll be May 3rd. And our meeting was very successful.
Thank you. Councilman Clark?
We have not met since last meeting, and we are wrapping up the budget as we're reading it tonight.
Thank you. That was to the point. Councilman Light?
Good evening, Mr. President. We haven't met. We meet on the 7th at 5 o'clock here. The public is welcome. And I would like to say, which I always do, is stress that I'm very proud of the job that our Public Works does every day for all of our parks and throughout our community. I'm very, very proud of the job that they do with the staff that they have. Also, I've recently had several requests of people with either lost family members or actually requesting benches at some of our parks. So I'm trying to lead them into the process, trying to help out. It's not complicated. It's just a request, and we can get that ball rolling. And then lastly, I was invited to be at Mrs. Leapy and the National Honor Society had like a little bit of a meeting yesterday, and the National Honor Society has raised some money, and they want to actually do some small improvements at Veterans Park. They already have the plantings. They have everything. They're putting the plan together. They had one of their own staff is a landscape design person, and so they have some plans. It was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting to see that or hear that, so I reached out to Lloyd and made our Pete Higbee, made everyone as I could aware of it. Nothing is set in stone yet, but they want to start the ball rolling so that the park is looking its best for the Memorial Day ceremony. So, thank you. That's all.
Thank you. The only thing I have to mention, going back to the original, the ordinance that was removed tonight, nothing nefarious. All it is transferring who approves coaching badges for leagues in Absecon, and we're moving that to a new authorizing person. So that's all that is. But unfortunately, the resolution needed a tweak. So or the ordinance needed a tweak. That's the only reason why that was moved. Mayor, you got anything?
Actually, I don't have anything to report. I'd just like to thank council for all your diligent work on the budget. Thank you to Kristen, our CFO, for doing a great job on everything too, and really enlightening us on lots of stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ed?
For a second, I apologize. I had the date wrong. It's 4:15 that we'll be meeting at 4:22.
Got it.
Thank you.
Ed?
Yes, thank you. So I'll be very brief, since we're kind of in a limbo period between capital budgets, really. But we do have a couple projects that are beginning construction now that the weather has warmed up. That's the next phase of the Crestview Avenue sidewalk project, which will actually be kind of the cut through behind the playground. We had our pre-construction meeting on that today, and they're planning on starting in the next couple weeks. So we'll see some action out there. That project will go a lot quicker than the first phase. It's a lot more straightforward. but we're looking forward to having that done for the nice weather. And then the second one is the 2024 road program, which was kind of on hiatus over the winter. They finished up the tree clearing. They're starting over on 4th Avenue where we're doing some drainage improvements out there. So they did the tree clearing, and they're going to start in the pipe work next week, and then they'll roll into the rest of the road program. A couple other projects are, in the design phase, and then we'll take a look at where we land with the capital budget and consider where we want to go with the next phase of road work in 2025. We finally got some review comments back from the county on Shore Road. I don't remember if I reported on that or not, but we did finally get those comments back. So we're working on responding to those. Our design engineer was out for a week, but he's back now. So we're going to turn that around quickly, get it back to the county, and like I said, hopefully we're moving from the 2-yard line to the 1-yard line, right? So.
No, absolutely. I was hoping some of our frequent flyers were going to be here because I was going to bring up the email where you were adamant about by McDonald's. So I appreciate.
Oh, and then there's the McDonald's.
That, yeah.
So on the McDonald's front, where we went to the DOT and asked if we could put in the flexible delineators to keep people from making those left turns. They got back to us with a kind of vague, wishy-washy answer, and I kind of went back and asked for a little more of a definitive answer. I don't think they responded to me yet.
Not yet. Okay. No, I just checked.
So we'll see what they say. Yep.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
That's it.
May I hear a motion to open this meeting to the public?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Would anybody from the public like to speak? Name and address, sorry.
Tom Burns, East Fonts Landing Road. Something that the chief had mentioned about the road construction. I've noticed specifically up on the North Shore Road project, they're tearing up a lot of the sidewalk. Presumably the work's done. And they're finishing, instead of replacing concrete, they're replacing with blacktop. Is that temporary?
That's temporary. What'll happen? And I've noticed you walking big distances recently, so I'm gonna have to check in with you, Tom, whenever I need to know what's going on in town.
Better be looking around.
That's completely temporary, and it's not until they'll do the whole strip at one time. They send one contractor out.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
The other thing is, of course, I've been here before and mentioned some things about East Fonts Landing, and we've done a good job getting a few more garbage cans there, but had an encounter with a fellow neighbor a month or so ago. No blood drawn, no problem. So, he was letting his dog defecate and had no intentions of picking up. And of course, there are signs there about curbing your dogs. And I just approached him. I said, "Are you planning on picking that up?" And he said, "Nope." And I said, well, why not? And he said, there's enough needles and condoms and beer cans laying around this place. This is my contribution. I said, that's your justification as a member of our society? And he goes, it is. So I just share it with you because although a lot's been done down there, and it's not just East Fonts Landing, the park, but, I do walk my dog a lot. And I think there's a lot of trash around the city, not just on East Fonts Landing. And I'd just like to make a request if there's any way that we can try to, as a community, try to do a better job with this and find ways to encourage people not to litter our town, because I just think it's getting worse.
Maybe Councilwoman and Councilwoman.
It is one of the spots that we plan on visiting for our community cleanup on the 19th. And we typically do visit it when we have.
And maybe we do some sort of PSA when we're announcing the Earth Day, kind of remind people as we lead up to keep our community clean or something like that.
Sure.
Okay.
Add it to our Facebook.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you for your time.
Anybody else from the public like to speak? Going once? Twice? Sold. All right, sold. May I hear a motion to close this meeting to the public?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I hear a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, everybody, for coming.